Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Ericka Sallee of True Synergy. True Synergy is a personal coaching and professional development company where I help women and organizations to figure out what stands in the way of their success. And so I love sharing snippets and tidbits and stories and methods and small strategies that you can use in order to move along your transformation journey. So if those are conversations that you are interested in continuing to hear, then I do encourage you to subscribe to this channel, to share it out, and yes, turn your notifications on so that you are aware of when new videos are uploaded. So the topic for this conversation is using what you have. Now, I've got to tell you, this is Christmas time, and this is the time of year that I really get excited about. I love just the feeling of Christmas. I love the meaning behind Christmas. I also love the spirit of decorating and the warmth that I get when my home is decorated for the holiday. And so I decided that this year I wanted to do something different. Now, typically, I decorate my banisters, which you can see here from the bottom of the stairs up to the top and over on the other side. But every time I use the garland around the stairs, I love it when it's done, but it makes such a mess. And before I know it, I've got all the little pieces of garland that have shed, and they're all on the steps and all in the little crevices of the stairway. I'm finding little pieces of that shedding sometime in the spring, as much as I think I've vacuumed every possible area that a little piece could fall. But needless to say, that's what drove me to say, I wanted to do something different. And so I started thinking about, well, what would that be? And I was looking at some things online, trying to get some new ideas. And I came across these wreath sconces, or sconce wreaths, however you want to say it. But they were just little mini wreaths that you could kind of put along the banister. And I thought, that's it. Because I don't have to wind the garland around and have to spend endless effort vacuuming and making sure that it's all cleaned up. And so when I started pricing them, I thought, they're not cheap. They're quite expensive. I mean, they were ranging anywhere from, say, $25, $30 all the way up to like $60. And I knew that I needed at least 6 or 8 of them. And I thought, do I really want to put out the money, right, for this idea? And so I started thinking about this, and this is why I wanted to share with you, because, this could apply to any area of our lives where we want to make a change. Like, I just knew that for this season, I wanted to do something different. And so I'm talking about Christmas decorations, but you can apply this concept of doing something different, creating something new, making a change, just a small transformation in whatever area it fits for you. And so what I realized was that, am I really going to put the money out? So of course, when you first start thinking about change and transformation and how to do something different, you're starting to question the logistics of it. Does it make sense? Is this the right thing to do? And you should do that. So just kind of going through that analysis in your head to say, okay, here's what I want to do. Let me think about that. Let me give it some thought. Let me kind of ponder it, think about some of the pros and the cons, because as I was thinking about what I wanted to do, I was also thinking about cost. And so I had to logically go through my head with it and just kind of ask myself a series of questions. So whenever you're thinking about doing something different, it does make sense to at least give it some thought, to kind of put some things into play. For me, this was evaluating, how much is it going to cost? How many of them do I need? Is this something that I need to or want to do right now? Those are all the same types of questions that you want to ask yourself whenever you're starting to think about doing something new for yourself. Now, I do get it that there is some change that is spontaneous, and that can be a good thing. But there are other moments when you need to sit down and think about, okay, how's this going to work? Do I really have all that I need in order to take that step? Okay, so that's the first thing. So when you think about doing something different, it's like, okay, let me think about that. So here is the using what you have part that comes into play. So I started thinking about that. I'm like, okay, so if I were to obtain 6, 8, I don't even know how many little wreath sconces. It's going to cost me a lot. Maybe I should think about that. And I happened to go downstairs into my basement. And as I'm pulling out the Christmas decorations, I happened to pull out all of these old circular wreaths that we used to put on the windows outside of the house. And then over time, that probably wasn't a good idea because of the, sealant in between the windows and all that. So I stopped using those. So I take all this stuff out. And I'm, pulling out the decorations and figuring out what I wanted to put where and just kind of going through all the things that I had. And now, mind you, I took the wreaths out and I just put them in a pile. I took them out because I was trying to get to something else. Never even thought that I was going to use these because I just didn't think about it. And I had been up and down the steps a few times and I started looking at these wreaths and I thought, why not use what I have to create what I want? Did you hear what I said? Why not use what I have to create what I want? So I decided that instead of me pulling them out and stepping over them to get to other things, that I was going to put them to use. So I don't know if you can see the view, but I'm going to show you. So there's one there. And originally I thought, well, maybe I'll do one here and then one right there in the middle where you see. And I decided, I'm like, no, let me think about this logistically. So I decided that I was going to take things that I already had. Like I already had these little poinsettia things because these were part of the garland decoration around the banister. And I had all of these bulbs from years ago when I would do different colors on the trees. And this year I decided to stick with the theme from last year, which is like the green, the silver, the gold. And so I had all of these red bulbs that were just sitting in a box. And I thought, oh, okay. I had these little pieces of, you go to the store, you buy the little flower pieces. And so I had all of these things. And I thought, why not use what I have? So I decided to create my own wreath. Now, they're not the slender kind like I saw online, but it works. And guess what? It didn't cost me anything because I already had everything that I needed. So I was able to create the look that I wanted. And I was able to use what I have in order to do that. So what I want you to know is that whenever you're thinking about stepping out to do something, give yourself the opportunity to say, well, what do I already have? This is even when you think about something new that you want to do in your career. You can say, well, what do I already have? Perhaps you already have certifications, you already have degrees, and you're looking at ways to step into a new arena. Well, leverage what you already have and then build upon it. Like these wreaths, I'm telling you, there was nothing on them except the little hooks at the top that I would use to put in the window. So I cut all of those off because they were, old and nasty and worn. And I decided, okay, I've got enough to create what it is that I want to create. So I'm saying to you today to think about, what do you already have that you can use as a foundation, that you can leverage in order to create what it is that you want for yourself. So you may have years of experience and you want to do something different, or maybe you want to branch out and do your own thing. Well, the question is, well, what do I already have? Do I have the ability to connect with people in an amazing way? Do I have the skill to be able to show people how to do something that they may not know how to do on their own? So what do you already have that you can begin to use, that you can begin to leverage so that you can move into your next? This is actually a portion of what I talk about in my 6 game changer steps to transformation. The very first step is, okay, well, assess where you are now. What do you have right now? What's going on right now? And so if you're interested in going through that process, I share the 6 steps. I share a systematic way to begin to prioritize. So all of that is part of this idea about how to move toward change. So if you're interested in getting more details around that, then I do encourage you to check out the link in the description to where you can find that little mini course. It's something handy. It's a small investment, but it does give you the opportunity to say, okay, if I want to start doing something new, then what are the steps? And today, I just wanted to share a portion of what that looks like. And that is, okay, start asking yourself some questions. What do I have right now that I can begin to use, begin to leverage, and then take that next step? So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I'm looking around because I'm so very excited just about being surrounded with the warmth of Christmas. I've got my tree lit, so I am going to sit back and enjoy it. And I wanted to just share this little nugget with you, and hopefully you can take that, grab it, and use it however you need to. And then, of course, if you have questions about, well, all right, I hear you talking about change and transformation and trying to figure out how to use what I have, and you may have some additional questions beyond this conversation that are specific to you. And if that is the case, then I do encourage you to visit my website at truesynergy.org. That's TRUSYNERGY.org. There's a little tab at the top where you can send me a contact, and you can just reach out and say, hey, let's schedule a 30 to 45 minute discovery session. That's all it costs you to figure out what's next for you. And so if you're interested in that, then I do encourage you to take that action today so that you and I can have a conversation. So on that note, I look forward to seeing you all again real soon. Until I do, take care and be well.